Listen and practice.
Party planning. Hi, Adam. Grandpa's birthday is in 2 weeks. I'd like to plan a big birthday party. I'd like to make it special because he is turning 80 years old. I will be very busy planning. Do you want to help me? We can have the party in the park. We can bring tables and chairs. We can also bring balloons to decorate the party. I'd like to invite 28 guests. I have made a list of their names. 5 people can sit at one table, so we need 6 tables. I will order pizza. One pizza has 10 pieces. Each person can have 2 pieces. That means we need 56 pieces. I will order 6 pizzas. I will buy juice. 1 bottle is 1 liter. Each person probably drinks 250 milliliters. That means 1 bottle for 4 people. So I need to buy 7 bottles. David will get our favorite bakery to bake a special birthday cake. We can cut 1 cake into 8 pieces. How many cakes do you think we need? 4 or 5 cakes? Check out the attachments. These are some of my ideas. Email me back. Rita.
Listen and practice.
Every day, people throw away millions of products like toys, cans, and bottles. Most waste goes to landfills, and sometimes people throw waste in other places, like rivers. This is bad for our world. It's good to recycle old products. We can use materials from old products to make new things. We can recycle old products like plastic bottles, metal cans, and clothes. At recycling centers, people sort the old products. Then machines use the old products to make recycled materials. We can use these materials to make new products.
Listen and practice.
Stonehenge. The Stonehenge stone circles are in England. People transported the first stones to this place about 5,000 years ago. We don't know a lot about Stonehenge. Who built it? How did they build it? Why did they build it? It's a mystery. People built Stonehenge with blue stones and sarsen stones. There were about 80 blue stones. They came from mountains 250 kilometers away. They are very heavy. Some weigh about 4 metric tons. The biggest sarsen stone weighs about 45 metric tons. That's like 10 elephants. The sarsen stones are even bigger and heavier. About 4,000 years ago, people transported them from 30 kilometers away. How did people use Stonehenge? Maybe they used it as a cemetery or a place for studying the sun and the stars. Maybe it was also a temple. It's still a special place for some people today. Every year, on June 21st, lots of people go to Stonehenge to celebrate the longest day of the year.
Listen and practice.
Welcome to South America. South America is one of the 7 continents on our planet. It is the 4th largest continent. The Atlantic Ocean is to the east of South America, and the Pacific Ocean is to the west. Most of South America is in the southern hemisphere. Spring and summer are from September to February. Fall and winter are from March to August. The landscape of South America is diverse. Most people know about the Amazon rainforest, but there are also flat grasslands and soft wetlands. There are also many mountains and deserts. The Amazon River is the world's 2nd longest river. It runs through Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. It is 6,840 kilometers long. The Andes is the longest mountain range in the world. It is located on the west of South America. It stretches from north to south. The highest point is Mount Aconcagua in Argentina. It is 6,962 meters high. The Atacama Desert is the 2nd driest place on the planet. It only gets 1 millimeter of rain each year. It is located in northern Chile.
Listen and practice.
What are the smallest living things on Earth? The answer is cells. Some of the biggest living things, like whales, people, or trees, are made of millions of tiny cells. Microbes are living things that usually have just one cell. Most cells are too small to see, so how do people know that living things are made of cells? No one knew about cells until microscopes were invented. Microscopes magnify tiny things like cells to make them look bigger so that people can see them.
Listen and practice.
In 1665, a British scientist called Robert Hooke made one of the first microscopes. He used it to look at a thin piece of tree bark called cork. He saw that the cork was made of lots of tiny pieces. These were the cork cells. Today, microscopes can magnify things 1,000,000 times. When Robert Hooke saw the pieces inside the cork, he called them cells because they looked like little rooms called cells.
Listen and practice.
I have to wear a suit and tie to work. After work, I just want to go home and put on jeans and an old sweater. You know, something comfortable.
Listen and practice.
Well, my boss likes to wear designer clothes, so I need to look good too. I usually wear a nice skirt or dressy pants with a silk blouse and a jacket. Oh, and high heels.
Listen and practice.
Well, we don't have to wear uniforms at our school, so I like to wear pants, a t-shirt, and sneakers. So yeah, I'm lucky. My friend has to wear a uniform, and she hates it.
Listen and practice.
Our solar system. Space is everything that's around planet Earth, and it's bigger than we can imagine. When you look at the sky at night, you can see thousands of stars. Did you know that the sun is a star too? There are also billions of other stars in space and billions of planets. Stars are huge balls of hot gas. A star with planets around it is called a solar system. Our sun has 8 planets. This is our solar system. Groups of stars are called galaxies. Each galaxy has billions of stars. Our solar system is in a galaxy called the Milky Way that has 200 billion stars. There are billions of other galaxies in the universe.
Listen and practice.
Our amazing sun. The sun and all other stars are made of 2 gases called hydrogen and helium. The hydrogen changes into helium in a process called nuclear fusion. This process produces heat and light. Our sun is about 150 million kilometers away from Earth, but it's hot enough to burn you at the beach. Plants on Earth use energy from the sun to grow. Animals and people also get their energy from the sun because they eat plants.
Listen and practice.
Earth and the sun. A planet goes around or orbits a star. It takes our planet Earth 1 year to orbit the sun. A planet also turns on its axis. It takes Earth 24 hours to do a complete turn on its axis. When a place on Earth is opposite the sun, it's daytime in that place.
Listen and practice.
University admissions around the world.
What do you need to do to get into a university? Actually, it depends on where you live. Let's look at university admissions in 4 countries: Austria, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States. In Austria. In Austria, getting into a university is very simple. Getting into a university in Austria depends completely on a student's score on a national achievement exam. Subjects on this exam include German, mathematics, and a foreign language. Students who pass this exam can go to a university in Austria. In Turkey. In Turkey, high school students take a national achievement exam in March. If they pass that exam, they take another exam in June. Getting into a Turkish university depends mostly on these exam scores, but universities also consider high school grades. In Turkey, students usually study very hard for the national exam. If they don't pass the exam, they can't go to university. In the United Kingdom. Students in the United Kingdom take achievement exams when they are 16, 17, and 18 years old. Universities consider a student's scores on all of these exams. Students also provide a very short personal statement, a reference letter from one teacher, and information about their extracurricular activities. In the United States. The university admissions system in the United States is quite different from those in Austria, Turkey, and the UK. Most universities in the United States consider a student's score on a special aptitude test called the SAT. Unlike an achievement exam, an aptitude test measures a student's ability to learn. It does not measure a student's knowledge of school subjects. Most universities also look at a student's high school grades, an admissions essay, and several reference letters. Extracurricular activities, such as sports, clubs, and volunteer work, are also very important. Students often do many activities in high school so they can get into a good university.
Listen and practice.
When I went to Hawaii, I spent the first few days in Honolulu. Everything was really expensive there, especially in the restaurants. $4 for a soda. But the beaches were wonderful. The sand was so soft and the water was so clean.
Listen and practice.
Sydney is one of my favorite cities in Australia. There are some great buildings there, like the famous Opera House. The only problem is the weather. Spring and fall are okay, but the summer is too hot for me.
Listen and practice.
One of my favorite cities is New York. There's so much culture there. I spent 2 weeks there last summer, and every day I went to a different museum, play, musical performance, or poetry reading. The only thing I don't like about New York is the traffic noise. You can hear cars driving and honking all night long.
Listen and practice.
Vancouver is a nice city to visit, but don't go in the winter. It's much too cold. The rest of the year is great, though, and there are plenty of clubs, restaurants, and other places to go at night.
Listen and practice.
I used to eat out a lot, but I don't eat out much anymore. All the good inexpensive places near my apartment have moved or gone out of business. Now there are only really expensive restaurants in my neighborhood. It's really too bad.
Listen and practice.
In Los Angeles, you have to drive everywhere, and sometimes the traffic is terrible. But that's the only bad part. There are a lot of fun things to see, like Hollywood, Disneyland, museums, and movie studios.
Listen and practice.
I think Rio de Janeiro is one of the most interesting cities in South America. The nightlife is great. They have great musicians, so there's always good music in the cafes. Crime is a problem, though, so you have to be careful.
Listen and practice.
Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and practice. Listen and
My trip to Cancun this summer was great. The thing I liked most was going snorkeling at the beach. The water was crystal clear and full of the most beautiful tropical fish I've ever seen. I'll never forget it. Unfortunately, though, I spent too much time in the sun and I got the worst sunburn of my life. I had to go to the doctor to get a cream for it. Next time I go, I'll use sunscreen every day.
Listen and practice.
One day, a rich dad took his son on a trip to a village. He wanted to show him how poor someone can be. They spent time in a farm of a poor family. On their return from the trip, the father asked his son, "How was the trip?" "It was great, Dad." "Did you see how poor people live?" the father asked. "Oh yes," said the son. "So tell me, what did you learn from the trip?" asked the father. The son answered, "We have one dog, they have four. We have a pool, they have rivers. We have lights at night, they have stars. We buy foods, they grow theirs. We have walls to protect us, they have friends. We have television, they spend time with family and relatives." The boy's father was speechless. Then his son added, "Thanks, Dad, for showing me how poor we are."
Listen and practice.
I went to Mexico City for the first time last summer, and I managed to use my Spanish every day. I mean, I still had to look up words a lot, but I was really proud of myself. The only bad experience I had there was when someone stole my purse while I was having lunch in a restaurant. Next time, I'll watch my purse more carefully.
Listen and practice.
I really enjoyed my visit to London. I wish I could have stayed there for a month instead of just for a week. The thing I really enjoyed most was the British theatre. I went almost every night and saw some really famous actors. Unfortunately, I didn't realize how expensive London can be. I spent twice as much money as I had planned to.
Listen and practice.
You wouldn't believe what happened on my vacation to Bangkok. I lost my wallet in the taxi. I thought I would never see it again. But that evening, the taxi driver came to my hotel and gave my wallet back to me. I was so relieved. The last day I was there, though, I got food poisoning from some fish I had at a restaurant near my hotel. Next time, I'll eat at a different seafood restaurant.
Listen and practice.
It used to take me about an hour to get to the airport, but now it takes me more than 2 hours. There's so much traffic here these days.
Listen and practice.
October 31st is Halloween. Children wear costumes. In the evening, they knock on doors and people give them candy. At Halloween, some people buy a pumpkin. They cut holes in the pumpkin to make eyes, a nose, and a mouth. They put a candle in the pumpkin to make a lantern. A lantern and a scary face. Stores sell Halloween toys, like skeletons
and spiders. People aren't really scared at Halloween. It's fun.
Listen and practice.
New Year. All around the world, there are big festivals for New Year. People in different countries do different things. In Spain and Portugal, people eat 12 grapes at midnight on December 31st. In Japan, people like laughing at midnight. They say, "Start the year with a laugh, then all the year is happy." In Thailand, people throw water in the streets. They have water all over them, but it's not a problem. The weather in Thailand is always hot at New Year. At New Year, many people watch fireworks. Little children sit on their mother's or father's shoulders so that they can see the fireworks. The fireworks go up, and all the people say, "Happy New Year."